The amount of hype surrounding the Hellp is staggering. Their merch is ungrailed, magazines have anointed them the last cool band on Earth, and YouTubers call them the only band that matters. I couldn't help but think, am I being bamboozled by an elaborate marketing campaign? Is the Hellp actually doing something revolutionary? Does any of this even matter as long as I like their music? If you're new here, hi Diva! Welcome to Microdose, the channel for lore and reviews of artists with under 1 million listeners on Spotify. Today, I'm not going to convince you that the Hellp is the greatest thing to happen to music or a pair of pretentious posers. Instead, I'm going to peel back the smoke and mirrors to expose the decade-long history of the Hellp from pre-debut to present. Together, we'll analyze the defining songs and videos of each era to chart the rise of this polarizing yet already iconic band. Let's go. The Hellp debuted 9 years ago in 2016, and its current lineup consists of Noah Dillon and Chandler Lucy. One thing you can't deny about the Hellp is that they've cleared the Nepo baby allegations. Noah was kicked out of home and lived in a car after finishing high school in Durango, Colorado. Meanwhile, Chandler worked in construction with his father, who owns a contracting company in Glen Ellen, California. So how did they go from that to the Hellp? Chandler attends college to study fashion design, but pivots to modeling and moves to LA. Noah, trying to get his life together, also attends college to study physiology and education, but still feels depressed and unfulfilled. He hones in on photography and shares photos and lookbooks online, attracting enough of a following to land a 2014 interview with Swank Mag, a 2015 shoutout in Artsy Mag, and most importantly, the respect of Lucas Sabat, a key figure in the next few years of Noah's life. But Noah isn't content just taking photos and working as a substitute teacher. One day, he tweets, "I want to start a band." Durango locals Eddie Liabo and Devin Furricane are like, bet. Thus, the Hellp is born. After a few months of recording in a college classroom, the Hellp self-released their debut EP, Twin Sinner, in February 2016. Now, let's listen to Confluence, the final track on the EP. The first thing you need to remember about Confluence is that Noah was only 21 when he released it. Hence, I would characterize Confluence as a stream of consciousness monologue from a young adult trying to find a purpose in life and define his relationship with God. Like a lot of young men, Noah flip-flops between self-doubt and self-aggrandizement, a tendency you'll also observe in the Hellp's interviews. You can't talk about Confluence without mentioning its iconic one-take music video. In his 2020 Yale talk, Noah notes that the video works best when viewed as a standalone installation separate from the music. He had a clear vision, filming on a road leading to Monument Valley, starting fully dressed and ending completely naked. With only these start and end points in mind, he and co-director Jack Bridger began shooting, restarting each time a car entered the frame. The video's concept is striking, but what's most impressive here is Noah's sheer dedication, bordering on delusion, in executing such an ambitious project without waiting for money, fans, or permission. Later, Frank Ocean's producer allegedly told Noah that the Confluence video was an inspiration for Blonde, which dropped 6 months later. We don't have this cosign on the record, but I totally believe it. The years following Twin Sinner see Noah trading in country boy life in Colorado for the grimy hustle of LA. To understand this era, we gotta go back to Lucas Sabat, a fan of Noah's I mentioned earlier. Luca is a model, actor, and creative entrepreneur with a shit ton of followers. He takes a shine to Noah's work and invites him to collaborate on Hot Mess. Hot Mess is an experimental, multi-platform project blending fashion, art, and media. They shoot fashion campaigns, put up fake luxury brand billboards, sell merch, give away free money, and get profiled in a bunch of magazines. Luca calls Noah
a legend. This guy going down in the books.
While Noah describes Luca as a master of
convincing people who are easily swayed, which is most of the population, that what he's saying is important.
The success of Hot Mess probably came as a bigger shock to Noah, who was a lot poorer than Luca and famously said,
"I have $82 in my bank account, and we're about to have a gallery at Milk Studios, LA."
Besides raising Noah's profile as a fashion photographer, Hot Mess is also how Noah and Chandler meet. Luca casts Chandler in a shoot and introduces him to Noah, where they become instant besties. Noah tells Chandler to learn drums, eventually recruiting him to the Hellp. A 20-minute interview with the band shot in the candy aisle of CVS is uploaded to YouTube in November 2016. Noah very wholesomely says his band is all about
making people like you and all the other kids on the internet believe that they can actually accomplish something.
Now, let's dive into Elevation 001 and Beacon 002, two drastically different songs from 2017 that showcase the Hellp's evolving sound. If I could inject the Hellp song into my veins, I would choose Elevation 001 in a heartbeat. This track is composed of just two ingredients, industrial saw noise and testosterone. The Hellp really said, fuck synths, we have power tools at home. Words can't capture how hard Elevation 001 goes, but I'll try anyway. This song pulses with a desperate hunger for originality, authenticity, and greatness. Picasso once said, "Every act of creation begins with an act of destruction." Dressed in immaculate fits, the Hellp smash everything in sight. Horses, chairs, clocks, perfume, desks. Give me something to die for, they sing. Elevation 001 is a relentless search for something so great it's worth risking everything for. Beacon 002 is the first single where the Hellp leans into electronic sounds and really starts chopping shit up. Co-written with Hot Mess's writer Curtis Eggleston, Beacon 002 is raw yet refined, chaotic yet taut, and anxious yet assured. The song refuses to confine itself to a single genre. There's melodic singing, there's noise, and there's rap. Combining multiple styles of music in one song doesn't always work, but Noah's manic vocals hold it all together. Given that Beacon 002 was released during the height of Hot Mess, I see the song as a battle between identities. My theory is that Noah felt like a different person in LA versus in Colorado, and maintaining these separate personas started to take a toll on his psyche. In LA, Noah was an in-demand photographer who rubbed shoulders with celebrities. In Colorado, he was just a normal guy people didn't expect anything from. When Noah sings "Get Me Out of Here," it could be either a version of himself demanding emancipation, or a plea to destroy the monster of his own making. Sometime after Chandler joins, Eddie leaves the band, cementing the Hellp as the duo we know today. In 2017 and 2018, Hot Mess reaches the height of its popularity and productivity. Given the overlap in Noah, Chandler, and Hot Mess's social circles, there was likely some crossover between Hot Mess and the Hellp fan bases. In October 2017, the Hellp premieres the music video for Feel on the last day of Hot Mess's gallery at Milk Studios LA. In late 2018, the Hellp releases two new EPs, Lucy and Curtis. Lucy being Chandler's middle name, and Curtis a nod to Curtis Eggleston, Hot Mess's writer. This era brings us to Tu Neurotic, the second track on Curtis and one of the band's most popular songs today. Tu Neurotic is the Hellp's most streamed song at the time of filming, and noticeably more playful and upbeat than other singles. Packed with scattered references to drugs, guns, and Native Americans, the track is best enjoyed as a collage of vignettes. There are so many ways to interpret the music video for Tu Neurotic. On one hand, you can see it as the Hellp phoning it in and outsourcing the job to young girls who will make the video interesting simply by appearing in it and lip-syncing the song. On the other hand, you can see the music video as a role reversal where consumers become creators, turning the girls we typically think of as passive listeners into active performers. Like the fake billboards Hot Mess put up, the Hellp is highlighting the way consumers play a part in defining a brand. While watching the video, I kept wondering, how many people singing along were real fans? Was anyone paid to act in it? Directed by Noah and Chandler in association with Emma O'Connor, Tu Neurotic is a provocative work that blurs the boundaries between lowbrow and highbrow, between commerce and authenticity. From October 2018 to January 2019, Freeform airs a 12-episode documentary on Hot Mess Noah wasn't super thrilled by, whose footage I've used extensively in this video. Hot Mess is less active in 2019 and pretty much inactive in 2020. In April 2019, Noah gives his first of many college talks at UC Riverside titled "You Must Commit a Murder to Be Who You Desire." In February 2020, Noah delivers his oft-quoted Images from the Void talk at Yale. My favorite part is when he recounts putting people's Instagram pics on a billboard without consent and then painting over them when people complained.
Yeah, it's the whole thing, but I would say it's my first painting, probably.
During COVID lockdown, Chandler spends his Uncle Sam handout on gear, and the Hellp focuses on leveling up their sound. By this point, Chandler had transcended being the Hellp's drummer to being a producer and soundsmith. As he recalls, he and Noah worked relentlessly to learn everything themselves since they didn't have the skills to do what they wanted to do. The Hellp set their sights high, eager to outdo themselves and deliver the excellence fans have come to expect from years of iconic songs and videos, many of which I haven't even included in this video. At some point, the Hellp joins the roster of Terrible Records, a well-regarded LA-based label known for working with artists like Solange and Blood Orange. In April 2021, Terrible Records drops Volume 1, a compilation of the Hellp's back catalog. To celebrate, the Hellp released the music video for 2019's standout banger SSX.
Tell me why is sweeter than blood.
SSX is the perfect blend of classic rock and electronica and features one of the hardest riffs I've heard in my life. This fusion between old and new evokes nostalgia for a bygone era, or as Noah croons, a memory of what we had. The syntax of family. That's what's written in the description of the music video for SSX, composed mainly of home videos interwoven with stage scenes and stock footage. A lot of the home videos appear to be from Noah and his family, but clips from other people appear as well. At times, the distinction between staged and authentic content is unclear, likely an intentional choice by Noah, who directed the MV. At the beginning of the video, where there's more home footage, I felt like I was peering into the lives of the people on screen and forming a connection with them. But during the wedding scene near the end, where staged media is surrounded by home videos, I felt conflicted. Should I engage with the footage like it's real, or treat it differently knowing it's staged? One by one, the home videos go offline, reflecting their ephemeral nature. People get older, move away, and change, just like the world around them. SSX is a bittersweet meditation on loss and goodbyes. After Volume 1, the Hellp begins teasing new music, specifically an EP named Enemy, for summer 2021. They revive their online presence at thehellp.com, linking to a Discord that has since shut down. From July to August, they embark on a small tour. In August, the Hellp drops a 2-hour mix on NTS as part of a series featuring terrible artists. NYC-based podcasting duo Ion Pack shares a nearly 2-hour interview recorded during the band stop in New York, which would normally be paywalled, but someone uploaded to YouTube. The most revealing part of the interview comes about an hour in, when Noah talks about the first non-Christian songs his high school friend Colin introduces him to.
Then he plays me Pop the Glock Uffy.
Oh, there we go.
Then he plays me Vanish, Crystal Castles. Then he plays me We Own the Sky, M83.
In October 2021, the Hellp finally dropped Enemy EP. Let's dive into Bnb Sonnet, my favorite track on Enemy that tragically did not get a music video.
Is it wise to be casual in the daylight, to be tangible?
This song is tight. I'm obsessed with how aggressively danceable it is, even with overly intellectual lyrics, like maybe posthumous is the best way to be undressed in the X-ray. And the gag is, I get it. On Bnb Sonnet, the Hellp explores the pains of being perceived and maintaining a physical form. Just look at the EP's cover where Noah and Chandler hide their faces from the sun. They're in the center of the photo, but they don't stand out because we can't see their eyes, they're poorly lit, and their posture makes them look smaller. This is a visual reflection of the tension between wanting to be seen while craving anonymity. Enemy is the Hellp's first new music release backed by a label, but it barely receives any press. The only release day review I could find is from the University of Arizona's student-run radio. A few weeks later, a nearly 1-hour interview of unknown origin and date surfaces on YouTube, though it's less of an interview and more just Noah and Chandler oversharing with no media training. Noah takes a moment to praise Miranda Cosgrove, calling her 2010 single Dancing Crazy
The best song I've ever heard in my life.
At the end of Enemy's release month, Complex lists the band as an artist to watch. In November, they appear in Perfectly and imperfect, noted tastemaker magazine. In March 2022, they're featured in fashion mag Forward, which seems more interested in promoting the Hellp's clothes than the Hellp's music. To be clear, the Hellp's minimal coverage in mainstream media at the time in no way reflects the band's actual popularity. A Damon Rush and Ayodeji co-directed recording of the Hellp's 2021 show in New York captures a packed room of sweaty fans. The list of collaborators on May 2022's Enemy remixes further highlights the Hellp's growing recognition among artists. This culminates in an October show at New York's Market Hotel with Snow Strippers and The Dare, a cultural moment that definitely would have altered my brain chemistry if I attended, which I stupidly did not. Right before Christmas 2022, the Hellp receives a life-changing email. Anna Moya Records, an imprint of Atlantic, wants to sign them. They fly to LA, finalize the deal, get fresh cuts for new press photos, and enter their major label era. In March 2023, they play at Austin South by Southwest and record a relatively tame but insightful interview. When asked to name some unexpected inspirations, Noah points to an Airbnb commercial, which a fan linked to in the comments and low-key ate. In May, the Hellp drops their first single under Atlantic, California Dream Girl. Let's sink our teeth into this iconoclastic track and video.
California dream girl, you know what I mean.
Y'all aren't gonna want to hear this, but if you squint hard enough, California Dream Girl could totally pass as a Jonas Brothers or Metro Station song. There's something extremely teen heartthrob-coded lying at the core of this track that just makes me feel like a fangirl again. Now, the boy band comparisons end at the music video, an artistic stroke of genius seldom seen in music today. In it, the Hellp deconstructs the mythology of the American dream girl by placing her in different contexts that drastically shift her worth and desirability. First, we see a football team lost in the frenzy of the game and a girl standing on the field. She's not a part of the team, but simply standing there and being photographed like a trophy gives her value. Then, we see her in a sterile room sifting through a pile of dirt. Cut to a shot of men panning for gold, just like in the California gold rush. A man hunting for gold is noble, but a hot girl getting dirt on herself is vulgar. What she fails to realize is that she, not the gold, is the prize in this equation. Next, Noah swoops in and offers the girl a ring, a key moment that reveals how we as a patriarchal society assign value to men and women. The woman is worth something because the man chooses her, and the man is worth something because he has a ring and a woman to give it to. And that, my friends, is the entire gag of heterosexuality. Later, we see the girl holding a cup of Starbucks, a commentary on how brands and consumers influence each other's value. If hot girls drink Starbucks, the brand's prestige rises. If normies drink it, Starbucks loses value, and so do the hot girls who consume it. A lesser artist might have been satisfied simply glorifying the California dream girl, but the Hellp chose to take her apart and understand how she's created. Honestly, this is exactly the type of intellectual bullshit I live for. If you read Atlantic's press release on California Dream Girl, you'll realize that to the label, betting on the Hellp was akin to betting on indie sleaze, which I'll crudely summarize as a fast-growing subculture embraced by young people rediscovering early 2000s music and aesthetics. While the Hellp have both benefited from and contributed to the indie sleaze trend, they reject the term as a categorization of their music. In May 2023, the Hellp plays sold-out shows at Terragram Ballroom LA and Bowery Ballroom New York. Before their Bowery show, they give a brief interview where they correctly point out that they've been making their unique brand of music long before indie sleaze was a thing, and that
people just have to commodify something, right? Especially music, and that was the easiest box to put it in, like white guys and tight clothes.
In June, they play a live set alongside Tu Hollis at a Milady rave. In August, Chandler's hometown newspaper publishes an article chronicling his rise from class clown to signed rock star. Chandler aptly states that 90% of music is being cool and world-building. The Hellp plays a few more shows that fall, including one in London at a fashion after-party, which they seem to reliably get booked for. In December, Nobel shares an incredibly well-written long-form profile on the Hellp, which raises their credibility within the industry and forces other journalists to take notice. A flood of new coverage follows, notably a December interview in Byline and a March 2024 profile in The Face. Following this brief but impactful press tour, the Hellp releases Colorado, a lovelorn banger co-produced by Chris Griotti and ATL Grandma, who also worked on California Dreamgirl. Like California Dreamgirl, Colorado has a highly commercial sound and the potential to make a huge impact were it not for some missteps during rollout. First, fans were already circulating low-quality, early-stage leaks of the song screen-grabbed from Instagram Lives. Second, its lackluster video, which I'll get into shortly, did nothing to drive engagement. And lastly, Colorado got no press coverage upon release. Thankfully, none of these blunders are repeated during the August release of Caustic, accompanied by a fun, nostalgic, and sexy music video which premieres in Paper. They announce a headlining US tour in the fall, selling out several nights. In September, the Hellp visit NYC to premiere the disturbing yet poetic music video for Go Somewhere and play a DJ set as part of a New York Fashion Week rave. During this trip, Vintage Shop Rogue records an interview breaking down Noah and Chandler's fits, which goes viral for all the wrong reasons. Instagram users flood the reel with hate comments and snark, bringing the video to 2.6 million views at the time of filming and giving countless Gen Zers a terrible first impression of the band. On October 10th, the Hellp officially announces their debut album LL, set for release in just 2 weeks. Their final single, Stun, arrives a week before the album. At long last, on October 25th, 2024, LL makes its way out of Noah and Chandler's hard drives and into our ear holes. Now, let's dive into Colorado and Go Somewhere, two standouts from LL with their own unique charms.
I'm feeling Colorado. Why you look inside your shadow?
Colorado goes hard. If you're next to me at a show when this song comes on, I apologize in advance because I will lose my mind. Noah sings, "The sky is looking Colorado, but I'm covered in gray. I was looking for a lover, but I couldn't get her to stay." Not only does Noah feel betrayed by his lover, he feels betrayed by the sky, which shines in brilliant color as he's trapped in gray gloom. Absolutely genius. The lore behind Colorado is that the song was in the works for a long time and underwent countless iterations before the Hellp felt it was ready for release. The lore behind the Colorado video is that the Hellp initially hired another director to make it, but they weren't satisfied with the result and had very little budget left over to make a new one. In an interview, Noah remarks that the video for Colorado is artistically inferior to those for Caustic and Go Somewhere. This is obvious to anyone familiar with the Hellp's work. The Colorado video feels like a bit of a nothing burger compared to their usual standard of ambitious, boundary-pushing excellence. It's giving GQ photo shoot with random stock footage thrown in to convince you it's not a GQ photo shoot. Still, I've chosen to share the video here because it's just as illuminating to examine the works an artist is least proud of as it is to examine the works they're most proud of. Plus, Colorado the song is enough of a gag that I can live with a mid-video.
Maybe get away from here, about 1,000 miles away.
Although I like Caustic more as a song, I decided to cover Go Somewhere because not enough people are talking about her. I believe Go Somewhere could be about any number of things, but to me personally, it chronicles life after a breakup. When the Hellp sings "You're talking out of turn," they could be referring to their ex reaching out or their own desire to reconnect. They long for quietude or to drown out the noise by blowing everything up. The music video for Go Somewhere is the Hellp's most daring and ambitious film yet. I like to think of it as the black sheep of the Hellp's video catalog, so dangerous that it's guarded by a content warning you have to click past before the video plays. This is obviously an oversimplification, but a lot of the Hellp's videos are focused on telling the Hellp story and making the Hellp look like rock stars. On the other hand, Go Somewhere is focused on telling America's story and making America look like a stain on humanity. Let me break it down for you. The video starts off like a Gap commercial, featuring ethnically diverse children playing outside. We learn the names of these children and cut to scans of playground equipment manuals. These shots document the meticulous design behind something as seemingly mundane as a playground. We first notice something's amiss when the kids lie on the ground and an explosion goes off behind them. Cut to a shot of American soldiers blowing shit up, footage that could honestly be from any number of countries. One child, Sally, cheers as a missile crashes into the earth. During the song's bridge, the video takes a turn for the macabre, depicting children in a stark white room pointing guns at their heads and at each other. At one point, they aim their guns at a common enemy. This illustrates how blameless children can be brainwashed to commit heinous acts. Lastly, we transition to the Apple ad-coded portion of the video, where kids pillow fight, pledge allegiance with hands over their hearts, and lie on the floor massacred by missiles. The video for Go Somewhere critiques distinctly American practices, indoctrinating children into blind patriotism, viewing war and terrorism as something that happens elsewhere while ignoring their country's own complicity, and using consumerism and material comforts to pacify the people into obedience. For a band so interested in American aesthetics, I'm glad they're also turning the camera on American violence. Compared to Enemy, the Hellp enters the LL era with significantly more fans and industry connections. Yet, once again, the album barely receives any coverage from mainstream media. An Australian radio show named 704 West High Street drops a 90-minute interview with the band a few weeks before the album, which is terrible timing in my opinion, and kind of funny when you realize that they got interviewed by Australian radio before domestic radio. A week or two after release, Pitchfork gets their shit together and publishes a review of LL. Savvy netizens shower the Hellp with glowing praise on platforms like Rate Your Music, Album of the Year, and Music Board. Nearly 2 months after release, the Hellp finally gets an interview in Fader with the most hilarious and arguably unhelpful headline. My favorite part is when Noah applauds Charlie XCX for Brat. For the rest of 2024, the Hellp completes their US tour and adds 2025 dates in Europe, which appear to have completely sold out. Why do I like the Hellp? For me, standing the Hellp is like microdosing being straight. Okay, but real talk. The Hellp have mastered the art of creating danceable, serotonin-packed music that taps into real human experiences. Kinda like Charlie XCX did with Brat. Plus, I have to commend the Hellp for committing to an aesthetic and personal style. Straight men, please take notes. If you've made it this far, you must be a hardcore Hellp head, so don't be shy. Leave a comment sharing why you love the Hellp. Or leave a hate comment. It's up to you. Thank you so much for watching, and as per usual, let me know which other artists under 1 million listeners you want me to review next. Bye, Diva!